What's your favorite lighthearted conspiracy theory? That Disney came out with the movie Frozen, so when you Google Walt Disney Frozen it shows the movie and not Walt Disney trying to freeze himself. Same with Disney on Ice. Humpty Dumpty didn't fall, he was pushed. I bet it was the king's horses. Those bastards don't even have thumbs, so why would they try to put Humpty together? Unless of course they were just covering their tracks and making sure he'd never be put together. Again, think about it, greater than all the king's horse and all the king's men. The horses got there first. What happens in the time between the horses getting there and the men? Humpty was murdered and the horses covered it up? Still waiting on the lighthearted part. That hairdressers have the conspiracy to mark shitty customers. Basically, someone comes in acting like an entitled, spoiled adult brat, and they say, you know what sort of haircut would look great on you? Quote. And then that adult brat walks out with a short bob haircut with frosted tips. There's some historical precedent here. People running carnival games, scams, would use chalk or soot to mark particularly gullible customers so that they could be ripped off. Again and again. It's where the term mark, meaning sucker, comes from, monsieur. So basically my theory is that the Karen haircut is how hairdressers warn the world about particularly shitty people. I like the conspiracy that Axe body spray was made by women for the express purpose of convincing assholes to mark themselves so other women can avoid the monsieur. Welcome mats were invented by vampires to bypass the need to be welcomed into your house rule. The fashion industry took away women's pockets to make them buy more purses. That Keanu Reeves has a Reddit account and comments and upvotes the memes about him to make the op feel good. That Jar Jar Binks is a Sith Lord. Some dude that was in the EP1 or something related actually commented that he was happy that the plans of movies always come out in the end right after someone made a theory about Jar Jar being a Sith Lord. There's subtle hint in the movie. If you want to see a theory I could link. USB sticks are designed to reverse their sides 3 times before you can plug them in. I can get it in on the first try. You are the chosen one. The world is controlled by Tibetan Buddhist monks. They hack into the Matrix by sitting on tops of mountains chiming bells in specific sequences. Well, they are doing a fucking shit job. Oh really? Have you seen how the media has been linking C-19 to animals recently? We'll all be vegetarians soon. Mark my words. I sure hope not. What the fuck am I supposed to do with all my sheep? Open a Welsh brothel. Fuck, ha 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 ha. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. The fact that there's a company that buys an absurd amount of glitter but remains anonymous because they don't want people to know it's glitter. I love how bizarre yet slightly concerning it is. Hear me out. It's the company that makes bass fishing boats. You ever see those things? The hulls of the boats just scream glitter. They don't want people to know it's glitter because the men who purchase them will feel less manly about it. It's so very obviously glitter. I'd be shocked to hear anyone has been thinking it's not glitter. Probably some paint manufacturer cheaping out on the fleck in their paint. Chuck E. Cheese's saves uneaten pizza slices and puts them together for other customers. Hey, Op said, light-hearted. Bigger Luke theory. The idea that Luke Skywalker would replaced partway through with a different, slightly bigger Luke. It's so absurd you almost have to respect it. I fucking love the bigger Luke theory. It's just so bonkers. It always makes me smile when I think of it. The Olsen twins are really just one person moving back and forth to give the illusion of 2 people. That's ridiculous. There's clearly 4 of them, monsieur. When they were on Full House we saw 1. But there were 2. Now that we see 2 there must be 4. Simple math. Really. Big pens go to another dimension when they fall over. I read that as Big Penis and was afraid for a second that the movie Snowpiercer is actually a sequel to Willy Wonka from the 70s. The idea goes that Charlie Bucket was able to use the technology from the chocolate factory to build a train, and that he is actually the conductor Wilford, renamed after Willy. Both films have similar themes, e.g. class struggle, and both involve a group of people working their way through a fantastic structure while they get picked off one by one only to discover that it was all it takes to determine the new successor. This is a theory that doesn't involve conspiracy. Don't think this is very lighthearted, but one of my favorite conspiracy theories is the curse of the ninth. Basically, a lot of classical music composers died either while or after composing their ninth symphony. There are exceptions, like Mozart, Haydn, Tchaikovsky, and Shostakovich, but there are a lot of composers that have fit the theory. Edit. Another really fascinating conspiracy theory is what happened to Sibelius's 8th Symphony, because it was not completed. Some say Sibelius himself destroyed it, but some pieces of it have popped up throughout history. Is this like the original 27 Club? Yes, it is. Shampoo companies put rinse and repeat on their bottles so really gullible people use the entire bottle during a single shower. The milk and other essentials is usually placed at the back of a shop in order to make customers buy more things along their way there. That's not really a conspiracy theory, is it? The store flow is planned very specifically due to sales. Absolutely. Also, different brands can pay or cut deals to have better eye-level placement. Walk around the perimeter of the store and you avoid 99% of the crap. The ancient Egyptians were helped by alien beings who brought animals from their planet. Those animals were cats, and that's why they were worshipped as gods. Yes, cats are cute little aliens. So you're saying, my deaf Siamese cat who screams at me, runs into things and has never once actually buried one of her turds is an alien? I believe it. Oh, Siamese especially. I've had two and they're always out there. Their little brains off in space. That preheating the oven is a conspiracy by energy companies to waste your time and money. Okay, that's actually nonsense. Tupac and Biggie are still alive somewhere on a desert island. Is this a romantic thing or are they just two cool dudes on an island, doing cool dude stuff? Could be both. 5 feet apart. U.S. President Jimmy Carter was attacked by a rabbit whilst fishing. I prefer to believe that he was beaten up by it and hid the wounds for weeks after the fact. Finland isn't real. Nessie exists and is just hiding and we should just let her be. That the Sonic movie producers had two designs in the first place. The ugly one and the one they were actually gonna use. They used the ugly one in the first trailer for publicity but really were gonna use the normal one all along. Avril Lavigne's death and being replaced by an imposter. Is Avril Lavigne the Jewish version of Avril Lavigne? South Dakota doesn't exist. I've never been there. Nobody I know has been there. Anyone who claims they have been there was just in North Dakota. Anyone who lives there is lying. Lol, I like this opinion. But I always thought North Dakota was more of a mystery. South Dakota's got some awesome stuff. Badlands National Park and the Black Hills around Mount Rushmore are beautiful places to visit. It's definitely North Dakota that doesn't exist. Schrödinger Dakota. Whichever one you're in at the moment, it's the other one that doesn't exist. Birds aren't real. A bunch of politicians from across the aisle are secretly beat friends who fight to look out for their own job security. Is this even a conspiracy? I mean, the rich all have the same interests and goals in mind. The Finland one is pretty wild. That can't be serious, right? Apparently Australia is fake and populated by actors. I wish this was true. Because I live in Australia and I'm not getting paid by Hollywood. Talk to Mary an hour. She should sort out your pay. Haha, there's no way they could make up an entire country in culture, unless... How there was absolutely no evidence that Bob Saget raped and murdered a girl in 1990. And that people should stop saying that Bob Saget raped and murdered a girl in 1990 because saying that Bob Saget raped and murdered a girl in 1990 is slander to his good name. Bob Saget, is that you? He said the name 3 times. It's more likely that **you** or Bob Saget. That sounds like something Bob Saget would say to throw off suspicion. Where is the body? Bob. She deserves a proper burial. The 1985 NBA draft lottery was rigged so the Knicks would get the first pick. The league wanted Patrick Ewing playing in the largest market. Zion Williamson going to New Orleans, one of the smallest cities with an NBA team, proves the 2019 lottery was legit. It's a small city, but it has a fairly large metropolitan area that it claims, which is from Gainesville, FL to Houston, TX. Of course, aliens built the pyramids. Not sure if lighthearted, but I think it's neat. Have you heard the one about dinosaurs built them? Lol. T-Rex and their silly little arms building pyramids is the stupidest thing imaginable. Haha, I love it. The image I got in my head was T-Rex picking up a block for the pyramid, accidentally dropping it on his toe, then hobbling around trying feebly to grab his stub toe in his goofy little hands. What if dinosaurs are aliens? Maybe, or possibly were the aliens. Some believe Noah's Ark was actually a spaceship that brought humans and animals to Earth from Mars after humans destroyed Mars. I think they say that it had something to do with the death of dinosaurs too. Lol. The pyramids or landing pads docks for the alien spaceships, which also happen to be pyramids. Birds being government drones. One piece of evidence states that they aren't present during rainfall because, you know, water damages electronics. Also why they land on telephone wires so they can recharge. Trump is a Manchurian candidate whose real agenda is the utter destruction of the Republican Party. He ain't that smart. I believe that's the point, sir. This isn't really lighthearted, but flat earthers realized that Australia wouldn't fit on a flat earth map. So they decided that Australia was part of the government conspiracy and doesn't actually exist. The government dumped fake snow on the state of Georgia. The Iraq War was over Saddam having an alien Stargate. Is there a link here, or are these two separate conspiracy theories? Two separate ones. Starbucks Bowling allies other companies that take names purposely spell customers' names absurdly wrong for more free advertisement. I remember when I went to a bowling alley with my friend Zach. Just Zach. Not a name that you could fuck up. Right. The screen showed Saxes. And I'm positive every single one of us took a photo of the board and posted it online. I personally believe it's just a way for employees to have fun and fuck with people. But the conspiracy isn't technically false either. The NBA rigged the '85 draft so the Knicks could get Patrick Ewing with an obnoxiously large, supposedly pre-frozen envelope in a big bingo ball spinner thing. Maybe LeBron James just so happens to get drafted by Cleveland too? I think that was just a pity thing cause the Cavs were really bad and they felt bad cause of all the Jordan shit that happened to them. Pizza Hut has a secret military much larger than the US military and far stronger than every military combined. You can't out Pizza the Hut. Jimmy Buffett's music career was a giant money laundering scheme to cover up the fact that he was smuggling cocaine into America. The UFOs we see are just home-traveling humans. That's why they've never attacked. They're just future humans taking a trip to see how we used to live. COVID-19 was spread as a distraction so the government could change the batteries in the birds. Paul McCartney died and has been replaced by a look-alike. Who comes up with this stuff? Same was said about Avril Lavigne. Avril Lavigne looks nothing like Paul McCartney. I like the stuff she did with Wings. Avril Lavigne committed suicide at 16 and was replaced by a look-alike so her teenage fans wouldn't lose their minds. The company that makes Orange Circus peanut candy is run by immortal elves who do not actually value money. The Pope is the king of the pedos. Oh wait. Nicolas Cage isn't acting in any of his movie roles. He's simply being himself. Is he good or bad though? Yes. So like Jim Carrey? Chuck E. Cheese's middle name is Endoscopy. The E is for entertainment. Charles Entertainment Cheese. Country songs about being lonely and sad on the rodeo circuit were created by rodeo competitors who want to defend the competition. I rodeo and can confirm. Chasing white lines at 3 a.m. while jacked up on Red Bull sucks, but I'll never stop lol. Dude, you are awful at keeping it secret. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.